In this video, we're going to be looking at finding intercepts on a graph and finding intercepts using an equation. So if we look at part A, we're given a graph, and we're going to look for all of the intercepts that this line passes through. So there are two different types of intercepts. There are x-intercepts, and an x-intercept is simply where the line passes through the x-axis, and there are y-intercepts, where a line passes through the y-axis. Now, not every graph has x-intercepts or y-intercepts, or both. So we're looking at straight lines, so for the most part, most of our lines are going to have both x-intercepts and y-intercepts. So if we look at this line, it passes through the x-axis right here. We could count our coordinates from the origin. It's 3 units to the right, and it's no units up or down, so that is the point 3, 0. That is our x-intercept. And it has a y-intercept at -6. So it has an x-coordinate of 0. We're left and right 0 units from the origin, and we are 6 units down. So there's a y-intercept of 0, -6. So notice our x-intercept has a y-coordinate of 0. This is always going to be true. For every x-intercept, the y-coordinate is 0, and the y-intercept has an x-coordinate that is equal to 0, which is always going to be true for every y-intercept. So now, when we go to part B, we're looking for the intercepts given an equation. We can use that fact or those two facts in order to find our intercepts. So let's first look for the x-intercept of y equals 3x minus 5, and we know the x-intercept has a y-coordinate of 0. So we're going to take our equation and we're going to substitute 0 into the equation for y, and now we're going to just solve the remaining equation for x. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I'm going to divide both sides by 3 in order to get x alone, and we end up with 5/3. So our x-intercept is at 5/3, 0. Now we're going to look for a y-intercept, and using the fact above, our y-intercept always has an x-coordinate of 0. So now we're going to substitute 0 into the equation for x. Now y is already alone on the left-hand side, so we just have to do the math on the right-hand side. So 3 times 0 is 0, and then 0 take away 5 is -5. So that gives us a y-intercept of 0, -5. And you can see, just from the process, finding the y-intercept is usually a little bit easier than finding the x-intercept.